What if the one thing I crave most is the one thing that could break us? That question pulses in my chest like a secret heartbeat, steady and maddening, a rhythm I cannot silence. I am Cassandra Sterling, CEO, billionaire, socialite, a woman who can bend the world to her will. Boardrooms hush when I speak, markets shift when I sign. Men twice my age bow to me in negotiations. Power has been my armor, my weapon, my addiction, and yet, here in the privacy of my marriage, that armor feels like a cage. Because the only place I long to be most powerful is the one place I'm powerless. Inside Daniel's arms. Tonight we're at a gala. Glittering chandeliers drip light onto champagne flutes. Silk gowns brush marble floors. And the air smells of roses and ambition. I smile, poised every inch the untouchable queen. But my eyes keep drifting to Daniel. He stands apart from the crowd, tall, dark-haired, his tailored suit a little too modest for this room. His hands are tucked into his pockets, his gaze watchful but calm, like he's here for me, not for the spectacle. That's always been his gift. Stillness in a world addicted to noise, and God, I want him. Not in the way everyone assumes. Not as the perfect accessory to my empire. I want him in a way that terrifies me, because my desire isn't soft or safe or ordinary. It's sharp, dangerous. It has teeth. I imagine taking him apart, not with cruelty but with devotion. Guiding him somewhere few men dare go. And every time I picture it, my body shivers with heat. But he doesn't know. Not fully. He suspects, perhaps. He's caught the edge of my teasing, the way my hand lingers on his chest, sliding lower before I pull away. But he doesn't see the hunger behind it, the obsession that keeps me awake at night. I sip champagne and laugh at something trivial, but my pulse races. Because even as I dazzle the room, my marriage trembles beneath the surface. When Daniel catches my gaze across the crowd, something flickers between us. Recognition. Heat. A silent conversation only we understand. His mouth curves in the smallest smile, but his eyes are serious, searching. Later in the car, silence wraps around us. City lights streak across the windows. I rest my hand on his thigh, casual, deliberate. His muscles tighten beneath my touch. You were quiet tonight, I murmur. He shrugs, looking out the window. I'm always quiet at those things. You know that. Yes, but you were distant. I let my nails trace over the fabric of his trousers. He turns his head, finally meeting my gaze. His voice is low, steady. Cassandra, not tonight. The words sting more than I expect. Not tonight. As if what I want is a nuisance. As if my longing is something to postpone indefinitely. I lean back, withdrawing my hand, swallowing the burn in my throat. He doesn't see the storm inside me, the ache of rejection, the hunger left unsatisfied. But I see something in him too. Attention, a boundary he guards fiercely, and it leaves me both furious and frightened. Because if he keeps shutting me out, if he keeps refusing the part of me I've never shown anyone else, what will become of us? Back home, the night feels heavy. Our penthouse is a palace of glass and steel, overlooking a city that never sleeps. I slip off my gown, diamonds clattering onto marble, silk pooling at my feet. Daniel sits on the edge of the bed, unbuttoning his cuffs. He looks tired, beautiful in his quiet way. I want to climb onto his lap, whisper my desire into his ear, force him to see me. Not as the woman the world reveres, but as the wife who burns for him in ways she can't confess. Instead, I stand frozen in the dim light, watching him. My lips part, the words balancing on the edge of release. And then, he says it first. Cass. His voice is careful, almost pained. We need to talk. The air between us shifts, sharp and undeniable. Whatever comes next, I know this is the moment. The one where silence won't protect us anymore. And I'm not sure whether I'm about to gain everything I want, or lose the only man. The bedroom door clicks behind me and the city hums faintly outside. A muted orchestra of life I feel separate from. Daniel sits on the edge of the bed, shoulders squared, hands folded in his lap like he's bracing for a storm. And maybe I am. I cross the room slowly, heels clicking against marble, the sound louder than intended, echoing in the tense air between us. My chest tightens. I can almost taste the electricity curling between us, sharp and fragrant. "You said we need to talk," I murmur, voice soft but deliberate. "Yes," he says. His eyes flicker to mine, and I see the weight behind them. He wants to be patient, he wants to reason, but there's a hurt he can't hide. I take a step closer. My hand hovers near his, but I don't touch yet. "Is this about me?" The words are teasing, a thin mask over the anxiety pulsing through me. He exhales slowly. "It's about us, about what you've been asking." My pulse leaps, a mixture of hope and dread. I want him to say yes. I want him to deny, then melt under my insistence. I want his resistance to bend, but I can feel the walls he's built, and they're thicker than I imagined. "I don't understand," I say, keeping my voice calm, careful. "You've never rejected me outright before." "It's not that simple," he whispers, eyes darting to the floor. His jaw tightens. It's about who I am, what I'm comfortable with, and some of it scares me." A tremor of disappointment runs through me, raw and immediate. My fingers twitch, craving the contact my mind already imagines, but I force myself to stay still. "Scares you?" I repeat, softer now, almost gently. "Daniel, and it's not about frightening you. It's about trust, vulnerability, connection. Isn't that what marriage is supposed to be?" He meets my gaze this time, conflicted. "I love you, Cass, I do. But some things are too far for me. Too intimate, too exposing." I swallow hard. The air feels heavy, thick with longing and restraint. My nails itch to trace his jaw, his collarbone, the line of his shoulder. But I stop myself. I can't force him, not yet. "I'm not asking for forever," I whisper. "Just a chance. To explore, slowly, on our terms." His eyes flicker to mine, searching, questioning, and I see the conflict tear at him. The quiet struggle of a man who wants to give everything but is afraid of losing himself in the process. "I don't know if I can," he admits, voice barely audible. "It's not just physical. It's about who I am. And I feel wrong for even thinking about it. A pang of something sharp and bitter hits me. Shame, maybe, or frustration. But I swallow it, because I know pushing harder won't work. Not now. Instead, I sit on the bed beside him, close enough to feel the heat radiating off his body, but careful. I let my fingers brush his arm. A light, almost accidental touch, and the reaction is immediate. His muscles tense, a shiver running along his spine. "That's all I'm asking," I murmur. "Not tonight, not tomorrow, just trust that we can try." He turns to me, and the intensity in his gaze makes my chest ache. "And if I can't?" I pause. I've imagined this 100 times, rehearsed it in my head until the edges blur with fantasy and reality. And yet, hearing it aloud, knowing he might never give me what I want, it stings. "Then," I breathe, voice low, "then we find another way to be close. But I can't stop wanting you, Daniel. Not that. Not ever." The vulnerability in my confession makes him blink, caught off guard. For a moment, the tension softens. I see the hint of longing in his eyes, mingled with fear. He wants to meet me here, but something still holds him back. I lean in closer, just inches from his lips. The scent of him, cologne, clean linen, the faint trace of his day, wraps around me, intoxicating. "You don't have to say yes tonight," I whisper. "But let me in. Let me try to show you that I'm not asking to hurt you. I'm asking to connect." His breath hitches, his hands twitching, unsure whether to reach for me or pull away. The moment stretches, taut, electric, as if the universe itself has paused to watch. And then, just as our lips are about to meet, the tension shatters. The phone buzzes loudly on the nightstand. He flinches, reaching for it, and the spell breaks. I exhale, frustration mixing with desire, my heartbeat loud in my ears. I watch him read the message, his face hardening, and I realize tonight, the connection I crave will have to wait, but the ache won't fade, because I've seen it. I've seen the flicker of curiosity in his eyes, the hesitation that hints he might consider, and that just that is enough to keep me obsessed. The city is quiet tonight, or maybe it's just me. Sitting in the dim light of our penthouse, I watch Daniel cross the room, his movements measured, deliberate, like every step is a negotiation with himself. I want to reach out, to stop him, to pull him into me, but I stay where I am. My fingers flex against the silk of my robe. I've never felt so exposed, so desperate for someone to see not just me, but the part of me that trembles with longing. He pauses, glancing over his shoulder. "Cass," he says softly, and that single word makes the air thicken, heavy with unsaid confessions. I rise and move toward him. My heels make no sound on the carpet this time. My hands hover, almost touching his shoulders, then fall to my sides, trembling with restraint. "I can't stop thinking about you," I whisper, almost to myself, and when I say it aloud I realize it's more than a thought. I've never wanted anyone like this, never needed anyone like this. He swallows a deep, almost audible motion, and the tension coils tighter between us. "Cass, I close the distance finally, letting my hand rest lightly on his chest. The warmth beneath my fingers makes my pulse spike. "Look at me," I command softly. Not demanding, not harsh, just needing. His gaze meets mine and I see it. The flicker of temptation, the crack in his armor. He wants to give in, to let me in, but the fear is still there, shadowing the edges of his eyes. "I've been scared," he admits, voice low, shaky. "Scared of losing myself. Scared of disappointing you." I press my forehead to his, our breaths mingling, soft and shallow. "You won't disappoint me," I murmur. "I want you. Not a fantasy, not an ideal. You. All of you in every way that's brave enough to trust me." His hands twitch, hovering near my waist, uncertain. I reach up, cupping his face, feeling the roughness of his stubble under my fingers. "Do you feel it too?" I ask, my voice trembling with vulnerability and desire. He exhales sharply, closing his eyes briefly. "Yes," he admits. "I feel it. More than I should," and then, finally, he leans in. Our lips meet in a hesitant brush, testing, tasting, and my body hums with the electricity I've been starving for. His kiss is soft at first, tentative, but then it deepens. Slow, like he's savoring the trust we're building. I press closer, hands sliding to the nape of his neck, pulling him into the intensity I've kept buried for so long. His hands find my waist, gripping, holding, balancing between fear and desire. Time collapses. The room, the city, the world, all of it falls away. There's just us breathing, touching, feeling, and yet it's incomplete. We pull back slightly, foreheads resting together, breaths mingling, hearts pounding in tandem. The confession lingers, unspoken but understood. This is only the beginning. "I want to explore this with you," I whisper, voice thick with emotion. "But only if it's safe for you. Only if you trust me." He nods slowly, eyes searching mine, a storm of fear, longing, and curiosity swirling in their depths. I want to," he admits. "I don't know how yet, but I want to." A shiver runs through me. That single admission, the opening of a door I've been desperate to cross, is enough to make me ache and soar at the same time. But just as we lean in again, a knock at the door startles us both. The intrusion is mundane, banal, a neighbor, a package, but the timing feels catastrophic. The spell breaks, leaving the tension raw and simmering. We stand inches apart, caught in the aftershock. The air between us vibrates with what's been revealed and what's still unspoken. The confession has been made, but the journey is far from over. And as Daniel finally closes the door, I realize that desire is a dangerous thing. It can build, it can burn, it can consume. And right now the penthouse is quiet again, but it feels different tonight. Heavy, expectant, like the air itself is holding its breath. Daniel stands near the floor-to-ceiling window, hands pressed against the glass, staring out at the city lights. I watch him, every line of his body taut, and I feel a pull in my chest, a mix of longing, fear, and something more primal. I can't stop thinking about last night, I admit. Stepping closer, my heels silent against the carpet. The words feel dangerous, like they could ignite or destroy us. He turns slowly, jaw tight, eyes dark with unspoken struggle. "Cass, I've been thinking too." His voice is low, rough, as if he's wrestling with himself. But I keep asking, where does it stop? How far are we willing to go? I close the distance until my hand rests on his chest again, feeling the steady thrum of his heartbeat under my palm. "It stops when we need it to stop," I whisper. "It stops when you tell me. But it starts now here with trust." He swallows, a deep, audible sound, and I see the tension ripple through him. His hands lift slightly, hesitating, then fall. Cass, you don't understand. I've never... His voice falters, his vulnerability raw. I've never felt like this, wanted like this. Then feel it with me, I say, voice trembling. Let me show you that desire doesn't have to hurt. That trust can be the most intoxicating thing we've ever known. His eyes flicker down to my lips, then back to mine. And in that pause, I see it. The part of him that's desperate to give in, to surrender, to trust me. It's a dangerous, exquisite thing, and it makes my pulse spike. I step closer, pressing my forehead to his, letting the heat of my body mingle with his. Look at me, Daniel, I murmur. I'm not asking for forever. I'm asking for now, just this moment. Let yourself feel what we both need. His hands finally lift, resting on my waist, tentative but searching. The touch sends a shiver down my spine. He's here, on the edge, teetering between fear and desire, and I want nothing more than to pull him over that line safely. To let him surrender without shame. I want to, he whispers, voice thick with emotion. But it scares me. I don't know if I can. Then let me lead. I insist softly, pressing closer, feeling the warmth of him, the tension, the rawness of our connection. Let me guide you. I won't hurt you. The admission hangs between us, fragile and urgent, and then something shifts. He leans in, tentative at first, and our lips meet in a kiss that's both desperate and tender. His hands clutch my waist, pulling me closer as if afraid I might vanish. I respond with the intensity I've been holding back, every brush of skin and whisper of breath a confession in itself. Time collapses. I feel him tremble beneath my touch, and it ignites something wild in me. Every shiver, every hesitant sigh makes me ache for more. More closeness, more trust, more surrender. We pull back slightly, foreheads resting together, breaths mingling. The weight of unspoken fears hangs in the air, heavy and electric. Cass, I'm not sure I can, he murmurs, voice breaking. You can, I breathe, pressing a soft kiss to his temple. I'll show you. I'll be patient. We'll take it step by step, but you have to let me in. Completely. Not just here, not just now, but me. All of me. His eyes glisten with something I've never seen. Fear, yes, but also longing, trust, and a raw vulnerability that makes my chest ache. I don't know if I deserve this, he admits, voice trembling. You do, I insist, cupping his face, letting him feel the truth in my touch. You deserve this, Daniel. Deserve to be wanted, to be trusted, to be seen. And I want you, completely. The words hang between us, charged and intimate, and he finally closes the distance, pressing his lips to mine in a kiss that's no longer tentative, no longer hesitant. It's a surrender, a promise, a breaking point where fear and desire collide in a way that's terrifying and intoxicating all at once. And in that kiss, I realize something. Desire isn't safe. It's not neat. It's messy, dangerous, consuming. But it's also everything I've ever wanted. Everything I've ever needed. The city sprawls below us, glittering and infinite, but up here in our penthouse, time has slowed. Everything else falls away. The noise, the expectations, the outside world. There's only Daniel. Only me. Only this fragile, fragile moment that we've built together through tension, longing, and confession. He stands before me, his hands shaking slightly as they rest on my waist. His gaze searches mine, vulnerable and open, and I feel the weight of everything unsaid, the fear, the hesitation, the craving that has shadowed us both. I'm scared, he admits, voice low, trembling. I've never felt this exposed, but I don't want to hide from it anymore. I press my hand to his chest, feeling the thrum of his heartbeat beneath my palm, and I whisper, "Then let me in. Let me guide you. I will hold you. Every step, every moment I will be here." He nods, a deep inhale, and in that breath I see a man surrendering, not in weakness, but in trust. And the realization makes my chest ache with desire and tenderness all at once. Our lips meet, and this time there's no hesitation, no testing. Just the slow, consuming intimacy of two people letting go, letting themselves feel, letting themselves exist completely in each other's presence. His hands roam my back, clutching me as if I might disappear. as if the gravity of our desire could pull us apart if we falter. I guide him gently, slowly, showing him the rhythm of trust, of surrender. Every touch, every whisper, every breath is a language of intimacy we've been building in secret, layer by layer, until the barriers finally crumble. And yet it's not just physical. Every glance, every brush of skin against skin is confession. "You are enough," I murmur into his ear, voice husky. "Always enough. More than enough. I've never wanted anyone like I want you." He shivers, clutching me closer. "And I never realized how much I wanted you too," he admits. "Not just like this, but all of you. Everything you are, everything you've kept from me, I want it. I want you." The honesty in his words hits me, a tidal wave of emotion that makes me dizzy and warm all at once. I press my forehead to his, breathing him in, feeling the fragility of trust and the weight of desire converging in a moment that feels sacred. We move together, slowly, deliberately, exploring the boundaries we've been afraid to cross. There's no rush, no coercion, only the raw, unfiltered intensity of two people learning how to surrender to one another. Every sigh, every gasp, every whisper is a testament to the intimacy we fought to claim. And in that surrender, something shifts. Daniel lets go of the fear, of the shame, of the hesitation, and I let go of the obsession, the craving, the need to control. We find balance not in domination or submission alone, but in the shared vulnerability that makes love dangerous and unforgettable. Afterward, we lie together, tangled, bodies slick with the heat of what we've just shared, hearts pounding in sync. The city hums below, indifferent and eternal, but up here we have everything. Daniel brushes a strand of hair from my face, his fingers gentle, reverent. "Cass," he murmurs, voice thick with emotion, I trusted you. I gave in, and I feel more alive than ever. But I also know we have to move carefully, slowly. We can't let this consume us in the wrong ways." I nod, pressing a soft kiss to his collarbone. "I know, and I'll wait. I'll be patient, but I will never stop wanting you, never stop needing this, needing you." He smiles, a small tender thing, and pulls me closer. "Then we'll learn together," he says. "Step by step, trust by trust, and maybe we'll find a love that's bigger than fear, bigger than obsession." I rest my head on his chest, listening to the steady drum of his heartbeat, feeling the warmth of him against me. The craving hasn't vanished, it's part of me, but it no longer threatens to destroy us. Instead, it has become a bridge, a path to something deeper, something sacred. And in that quiet, sacred aftermath, I realize the truth. Desire isn't just about fulfillment. It's about trust, surrender, the courage to see each other completely without shame, without fear. And tonight, Daniel and I have crossed that threshold together. I close my eyes, breathing him in, letting the city's glow wash over us, and I know, without question, that this is only the beginning. Not of obsession, not of craving, but of a love that is dangerous, consuming, and utterly ours.